Hello and welcome to Wednesday Wrestling Thoughts. And today we'll start off with Raw. This is Raw 4/16/18. Kurt Angle opens the show announcing Jinder Mahal is now Raw, then announces a U.S. title match Jinder Mahal versus Jeff Hardy. Hard to call who would win because both are back on Raw, but I was rooting for Jeff Hardy, and yes, Jeff Hardy won with this Swanton Bomb. Backstage, Jinder is complaining about losing, but invokes his rematch clause in 2 weeks at pay per view. No Way Jose parties by taking Renee with him, who was interviewing Jinder Mahal. Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Great back and forth match, but was interrupted by the Raw debut of the three-woman group, the Riot Squad. Liv Morgan, Logan, and Ruby Riot, who beat down both Sasha Banks and Bayley. Then we had a tag match, Heath Slater and Rhino versus Authors of Pain, Razor and Akeem. I was rooting for Heath Slater and Rhino, but Authors of Pain won. Miz TV opens with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They announced that Stephanie McMahon endorsed their return. Kurt Angle then announces Miz is going to SmackDown without the Miz Taraj. Then announces 10-man tag match for later. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy announced their here tag team tournament. Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy versus the Revival. Cesaro and Sheamus was at announcer's table. Was rooting for Matt and Bray. Happy that they won, meaning they'll face the Bar at the pay-per-view. Tyler Breeze and Fandango confront the Bar, giving them a ticket for horrendous dress. They review Ronda and Steph's confrontation last Monday. Curtis talking to Ronda backstage and announces Natalya is now Raw. Revealed that they had trained together and Natalya will have a match later. Amber Moon versus Mickie James. Nia Jax at announcer's table. Alexa Bliss was supposed to be at announcer's table too, but she, from backstage, Alexa accuses Nia of being a bully and won't come out. Great back and forth match. Amber Moon wins with the Eclipse. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel are talking about their 10-man tag match later. Dolph Ziggler is now on Raw. As he talks, Titus Worldwide comes out to try and recruit Dolph. Dolph announces he didn't come back alone. Drew McIntyre attacks Titus Brand. The Chosen One has returned. Roman Reigns comes out, claims he's going to beat Lesnar at pay-per-view, but Samoa Joe comes out to say he doesn't get the job done, then teases going to the ring, but says he'll see Roman at Backlash. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Natalya. Oh, Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville at ringside versus Natalya. Natalya wins by sharpshooter before getting double teamed by Sonya and Mandy. Ronda comes to the save. Sonya steps up but gets beat down by Ronda. Baron Corbin is coming to Raw. Tag match. Breezango versus The Bar. Lots of silliness in this match. Tyler Breeze wins the match with the surprise roll-up pin. Elias comes out and badmouths Bobby Lashley. 10-man tag match. The Miz, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and a mystery partner who was Bobby Roode. The match ended with Miz being betrayed by the Miztourage, and Miz gets beat by Braun Strowman slam. Now we have SmackDown 4/17/18. The show opens with a review of the AJ Styles and Nakamura feud. AJ comes to the ring. AJ complains about being attacked, demands a confrontation. Instead, Aiden English and Rusev come out, but announcing Shinsuke is not there and they challenge him. Single match AJ Styles versus Rusev with Aiden English. Match ends in DQ when Styles clamps the calf crusher and Aiden jumps him. Daniel Bryan comes out for the save. Shane and Paige announce that they'll have a tag match later. Shelton Benjamin comes to the ring. He puts down Chad Cable, then demands big competition. Randy Orton to come out, followed by Jeff Hardy, who is now SmackDown. Non-title single match, Shelton Benjamin versus Jeff Hardy. Guessing Jeff will win and then get jumped by Randy to build the feud for the U.S. title at next pay-per-view. But Jeff Hardy won with the Swanton Bomb, but Randy didn't attack. So I was a little disappointed by that. Miz appears on screen. He's at home with Maurice and Baby, saying he'll be there next week after responding to Daniel Bryan's tweets. Single match, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso versus Luke Harper with Eric Rowan. Quick match with Luke getting a distraction win. Brawl after with Bludgeon Brothers about to attack Jimmy Uso with hammers, but Naomi runs out to beg them to stop, so they leave. Sin Cara versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe makes short work of Sin Cara and makes him tap out with Coquina Clutch. Then he talks about how he will destroy everyone. Renee interviews Daniel Bryan about why he helped AJ. He says it's out of respect. Then Big Cass comes out and insults him. Carmella comes out to have her celebration. She brags about herself. She even shows a tape of herself winning Money in the Bank and then cashing in to beat Charlotte Flair for SmackDown's Women's Championship. Finally, Flair comes out to cut her off and tells her she has something of hers. But iconic Billie Kay and Peyton Royce accusing Flair of crying. Charlotte tries to fight Iconic, but double teamed until Becky Lynch comes out to help. This turns into a single match. Women's Charlotte Flair versus Billie Kay. Charlotte Flair had Becky Lynch with her at ringside, while Billie Kay had Peyton Royce at ringside. Carmella, meanwhile, was sitting at the announcer's table. Most of the match, Billie beats down Flair until Flair wins with figure 8 submission. After match, Carmella attacks Flair while Iconic beats down Becky Lynch until Asuka comes out and helps Flair and Lynch chase off the other three. The Bar then announces they're coming to SmackDown. New Day is back, runs into R-Truth and Ty Dillinger. Funny skit with R-Truth thinking he's on Raw. They announce Almos and Vega coming to SmackDown along with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Tag match, which was pointless. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan versus Rusev and Aiden English. Match ends in DQ when Shinsuke Nakamura low blows AJ on outside and Big Cass comes and attacks Daniel Bryan with Big Boot. Renee tries to interview Shinsuke, but he no speaks English afterwards. And that's how SmackDown ended. Now we go to 205 Live, 4/17/18. They review a rivalry for a later Tornado Tag match. They review Buddy Murphy's attack on Cedric Alexander and announce that manager will address later. Single match, Mustafa Ali versus Arya Daivari. Arya talked smack before match, didn't care about these two or who would win. After a boxing back and forth match, after a boring back and forth match, Mustafa Ali wins with an inverted 450. General Manager Drake Maverick announces Buddy Murphy weighs too much to compete in 205. So he announces next week they will determine in a gauntlet match the number one contender for greatest Royal Rumble. I'm looking forward to that match. Tag match. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher versus Vinny and Kevin, two jobbers. Was rooting for Kendrick and Gallagher, though it took longer than it should have. Brian Kendrick finally won with Captain's Hook. Tornado tag match. Hideo Itami and Akira Arakazawa versus Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik, with Kalisto at ringside, who then went to the back. Didn't really care for either team, but the story of the rivalry was good for this pointless tag match. The Lucha House Party wins when Akira accidentally kicks Hideo, and the Luchas do a double off the top ropes ropes blast for the 1, 2, 3. Drew Gulak talks trash about a former partner, and that's how it ended. And now we come to our final show, NXT 418-18. Johnny Gargano and wife Lori Candice LeRae, come to the ring. He's glad to be back and talk smack about Ciampa. Candice says she'll beat up Selena Vega tonight. Killian Dane talks about beating up Lars later. Single match. Ricochet versus Fabian Action. Didn't care about this match, but assumed Ricochet would win. Surprise, 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 Ricochet won. Has interview after match about debuting on NXT and promises to impress everyone, but he didn't impress me. Lars then talks smack about Killian Dane. Tag match. War Raiders, which is Hanson and Rowe, versus some jobbers named JC and Chris. Of course, the War Raiders win. Shayna Baszler talks smack to all the women in the locker room, which was a pretty interesting scene, I guess. Then we have a no disqualification match, Lars Sullivan versus Killian Dane. They both look impressive, but I was just watching. Lars Sullivan pulls off the win after a brutal back and forth match with a table and 3 chairs. Then we get to a women's single match, Zelina Vega versus Candice LeRae. At first it was the women alone, but then Candice gets the upper hand, almost comes out to distract her. Johnny comes out too to thwart him. After a good back and forth match, Candice finally gets the submission on Vega. Almost tries to interfere, but Johnny slaps the same submission on him, and Vega taps out. After match, Johnny challenges Aleister Black for the NXT title match, and Aleister Black accepts for next week. I hope Black defends. Anyway, that's been wrestling this week, and I hope you enjoyed my review of it, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, ring that notification bell to keep up with the latest videos, comment below to let me know what you thought. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and you can support the channel through Patreon. Links are in the video description below. Thank you very much.